Cruise lines are banking on you not knowing about this. If you're 55 or older, you have access to a long list of hidden cruise advantages that can save you thousands of dollars on a single trip and make your cruise far more comfortable. But here's the catch: you have to ask for them. Just recently, a couple in their early 60s used only a few of these senior advantages and saved more than $1,800 on their Caribbean cruise on the exact same ship and itinerary as everyone else. The difference was simple. They knew what to ask for and when to ask. So why don't cruise lines openly advertise these benefits? Because every free upgrade, waived fee, priority service, or quiet accommodation directly affects their profits, and they're counting on most seniors paying full price without realizing these options exist. In this video, I'll walk you through 25 hidden advantages seniors 55 and older can get on every cruise, including exactly what to ask for, who to ask, and how to ask in a way that actually works, so you can cruise smarter, avoid unnecessary stress, and enjoy the comfort and perks you've earned. Let's get started. Number 25. Unadvertised senior discounts. This is one of the most overlooked advantages for cruisers 55 and older because it's rarely shown online and almost never advertised. Many cruise lines quietly offer senior discounts, but they only appear if you ask directly during booking. There's no banner, no pop-up, and no automatic price drop. In fact, two people can book the exact same ship, sailing date, and cabin, and one may pay hundreds more simply because they didn't ask the right question. A common example is a $200 discount per person that never appears on the website, but is available through a phone agent or travel advisor. Sometimes it shows up as a lower fare, other times as onboard credit or reduced fees. The key is timing and flexibility. These offers are more common on longer sailings, off-season trips, or cabins that the cruise line wants to fill. Always ask at booking if any senior or over 55 rates apply, and let them know you're flexible on dates or cabin type. That simple question can unlock real savings without changing your cruise at all. Number 24. Priority boarding without stress. This single perk alone can save seniors over $300 to $500 per cruise when you factor in paid priority boarding packages, porter services, and private transfers that many people buy just to avoid embarkation chaos. One couple in their early 60s told me they skipped a 45-minute boarding line, avoided standing in the sun, and were escorted straight onto the ship simply by requesting assistance. No loyalty status, no extra fee, same ship as everyone else. Boarding day is often the most stressful part of a cruise, with long lines, heavy luggage, crowded terminals, and impatient travelers pushing to get on first. What most people don't realize is that if standing or walking for long periods is difficult, cruise lines are required to provide assistance under accessibility policies, even if you don't use a wheelchair. This help often extends beyond the terminal to tender ports as well, allowing you to board smaller boats calmly and safely before the rush. The best part is flexibility. You can request help only where you need it. The key is how you ask. Simply explain that prolonged standing or walking is challenging, and priority assistance is usually arranged without hesitation. Number 23. Quiet cabin upgrades, age, and loyalty. One 62-year-old woman used this perk to turn her $800 interior cabin into a $2,100 balcony suite. The cruise line didn't advertise it. Passengers 55 and older can request cabin relocations for comfort and accessibility reasons, and those requests sometimes result in free upgrades. Most cruisers treat cabins like locked hotel rooms, assuming whatever they booked is final, but senior travelers have leverage most people never use. At embarkation or during the first day, calmly mention any discomfort in your assigned cabin, such as long walking distances, difficulty with stairs, need for grab bars, easier bathroom access, excess ship movement, or being far from elevators or dining areas. Cruise lines understand that comfort issues for older guests can quickly turn into medical complaints, so guest services and hotel directors have discretion to move seniors into cabins that better suit their needs. These are often midship, lower deck, or accessible cabins, and in some cases, they are balcony or ocean view rooms, simply because those layouts work better. The key is honesty, not exaggeration. When you explain comfort needs clearly and early, cruise lines often solve the problem quietly, without charging a cent.
Number 22. Itinerary and ship selection for seniors.
A couple in their early 60s once booked a 12-night off-season sailing on a mid-sized ship and ended up paying nearly $1,400 less than friends who chose a 7-night summer cruise on a megaship, even though the itinerary covered more ports and included more sea days. Cruise lines don't spell this out, but longer cruises naturally attract an older demographic, and ships quietly adjust their atmosphere, pacing, and programming to match the guests on board. That means calmer evenings, enrichment talks, and fewer high-energy crowds. Mid-sized ships amplify this advantage even further. With fewer decks and shorter corridors, there's far less walking and much easier navigation from cabin to dining room, theater, or lounge. Off-season sailing stacks even more benefits. You'll see fewer children, lower fares, and far better cabin availability, including midship and elevator-adjacent rooms that sell out fast during peak periods. By choosing the right ship, length, and season, seniors often get a more comfortable cruise and pay significantly less without giving anything up.
Number 21. Reduced deposits. A retired couple planning a longer cruise wanted to lock in a great itinerary, but didn't want to tie up a large amount of cash months in advance. And by asking about senior booking options, they secured their cabin with a deposit that was several $100s lower than what other passengers were required to pay. Cruise lines don't openly promote this, but seniors 55 and older are often eligible for reduced deposit offers, especially on longer sailings, off-season cruises, or bookings made through a travel agent. These reduced deposits allow you to hold a cabin while keeping more money in your own account for longer, which matters when you're planning carefully or watching cash flow in retirement. The advantage is flexibility. If prices drop later, it's easier to adjust or reprice without risking a large upfront loss. Some senior-focused promotions also allow longer final payment windows, giving you more time to plan without pressure. The key is asking at the time of booking whether any senior or over 55 reduced deposit options are available, because if you don't ask, the system will default to the higher standard amount.
Number 20. Soft concierge support without staying in a suite. Many seniors don't realize they can receive concierge-style help on a cruise, even without staying in a suite. Cruise staff often provide extra guidance to older travelers who need assistance with things like setting up Wi-Fi, using the cruise app, reserving shows, adjusting dining times, or understanding the daily schedule. This support isn't advertised and isn't labeled as concierge service, but it works the same way and comes at no extra cost. Cruise lines offer this quietly because preventing confusion and stress is easier than dealing with complaints later. To access it, simply visit Guest Services or the Loyalty Desk and explain what you need help with. Ask clearly and politely, and the staff will usually take the time to handle things for you. Seniors who communicate calmly and directly often receive personalized help that many other passengers never realize is available. Number 19. Complimentary room service for medical or dietary needs. Many cruise lines now charge a room service delivery fee, often around $7 to $10 per order, and on a week-long cruise, that can easily add up to $70 or more. What's rarely explained is that seniors 55 plus with medical or dietary needs can often have those fees fully waived. Cruise lines consider this an accommodation, not a perk, which is why it isn't advertised. Medical need doesn't mean a serious condition. It can include medication that must be taken with food, early or fixed meal timing, difficulty standing in buffet lines, or needing a quieter dining environment. When these needs are explained clearly, guest services or dining staff often flag the cabin so room service remains free for the entire cruise. Many also allow seniors to order the night before to ensure meals arrive at the exact time needed. This saves money and avoids stress during peak dining hours. The key is to ask early, ideally on the first day, and explain that your request is related to health, comfort, or medication timing rather than convenience.
Number 18. Cabin bonus perks. Many seniors don't realize that certain cabin perks can be added at no charge just by asking, even though other passengers pay for similar comforts. Cruise lines often include small but valuable extras for older guests, especially in ocean view or balcony cabins, because these additions improve comfort and reduce complaints. These perks can include welcome drinks, a complimentary bottle of champagne, chocolates, fruit baskets, extra pillows, mattress toppers, or seating adjustments. Individually, these items may seem small, but if you paid for them separately, they could easily add up to $100 to $200 over a cruise. The reason this isn't advertised is simple. If everyone requested them, costs would rise quickly. Seniors who ask calmly are often accommodated because cruise lines prioritize comfort and satisfaction for older travelers. The best time to ask is on the first day, either through your cabin attendant or guest services. Simply explain that you'd appreciate a bit of added comfort. You're not asking for luxury upgrades, just small adjustments that make your cabin feel more comfortable and welcoming.
Number 17. Spa and wellness discounts. Cruise ship spa treatments are expensive, with massages often priced between $150 and $250 for a single session, which is why many seniors skip them altogether. What most people don't realize is that cruise lines quietly offer discounted spa and wellness options to older passengers, especially during off-peak hours. These discounts are rarely posted on signs because the spa relies on full-price bookings during busy times. Seniors who ask, however, are often offered reduced rates, longer sessions for the same price, or bonus add-ons like extra time or complimentary treatments. Some ships also provide lower-cost wellness classes, such as gentle stretching, chair yoga, balance training. Number 16. Tailored meal prep, no upcharge. Many passengers assume special meal preparation on a cruise comes with extra fees, but for seniors 55 plus, customized meals are often provided at no additional cost when tied to comfort or health needs. Cruise kitchens routinely prepare low-sodium meals, softer foods, smaller portions, or simplified dishes for older guests, even though similar requests in specialty venues might cost $20 to $50 per meal. This service isn't advertised because dining staff handle it quietly behind the scenes. If a senior mentions dental work, difficulty chewing, medication-related diet needs, or sensitivity to certain ingredients, the kitchen can adjust meals automatically for the rest of the cruise. In many cases, once the request is noted, there's no need to repeat it nightly. This saves money, avoids specialty dining fees, and makes meals far more enjoyable. The best approach is to speak with the maitre d' early, ideally on the first evening, and explain your needs clearly and calmly. What looks like a special request is often treated as a standard accommodation for senior comfort. Number 15 is accessible stateroom priority. Accessible staterooms are some of the most practical cabins on a cruise, but many seniors don't realize they can request them even if they don't use a wheelchair full-time. These cabins offer wider doorways, larger bathrooms, walk-in or roll-in showers, grab bars, and more open space, features that would cost hundreds of dollars to upgrade elsewhere. Cruise lines don't promote this because accessible cabins are limited and often sell out months in advance. For seniors 55 plus, comfort and safety are considered valid reasons to request priority access, especially if balance, joints, or fatigue are concerns. The key is timing. If you book early and clearly explain your needs, cruise lines often reserve these cabins for seniors before releasing them to the general public. Waiting until the last minute greatly reduces your chances. There is usually no extra charge for an accessible cabin within the same category, but availability is limited. Asking early can mean better comfort at the same price, instead of paying more for upgrades later. Number 14. Dance hosts. Dance hosts are one of the most charming and quietly offered advantages on certain cruise lines, especially on longer itineraries and more traditional ships.
These hosts are officially hired to dance, socialize, and spend time with guests who may not have a partner for evening events. While this service can feel like a luxury experience, there is no charge to participate. Cruise lines don't advertise it heavily because demand would quickly exceed availability, but seniors are the primary audience these programs are designed for. Dance hosts often join ballroom dances, cocktail events, card games, and social gatherings, helping guests feel included and comfortable. On land, private dance partners or social hosts would cost hundreds of dollars per evening, yet on a cruise, this experience is included as part of the voyage. Access usually comes from simply attending scheduled events or asking the cruise director about host-led activities. It adds companionship, confidence, and enjoyment to evenings without any additional expense.
Number 13. Shore Excursion VIP Accommodations. Shore excursions can be tiring, especially when they involve long walks, stairs, or crowded buses. But cruise lines quietly offer special accommodations that make these tours far more comfortable for passengers 55 plus. These adjustments don't cost extra, even though private or small group tours with similar comfort features can cost $75 to $150 more per person. Accommodations may include priority boarding onto excursion buses, reserved front-row seating, additional rest stops, slower pacing, or alternative transportation for walking-heavy routes. Cruise lines don't advertise this because it would dramatically increase requests, but when comfort or mobility is mentioned, staff often note it directly on the booking. The important detail is where you book. These accommodations are typically only available on excursions booked through the cruise line, not third-party operators. There's no need to claim a wheelchair or exaggerate limitations. Simply explaining that you would benefit from extra time or assistance is enough. Asking in advance allows the excursion team to plan properly and ensures a smoother, less exhausting day ashore.
Number 12. Gentle gym hours. Cruise ship gyms are busiest late in the morning and early evening when equipment is crowded and the environment feels rushed. What works in favor of passengers 55 plus is that gyms open very early, often around 5 or 6 a.m., and those early hours are quiet, calm, and largely empty. During this time, seniors can use treadmills, bikes, stretching areas, and pools without waiting or feeling pressured. On land, access to quiet gym hours or senior-friendly fitness classes often costs extra, but on a cruise, it's already included in your fare. Many ships also schedule gentle fitness sessions, such as stretching, chair yoga, balance training, or aqua fitness during low-demand hours, and some of these classes are free or discounted. Trainers are also more available early in the day and often provide extra guidance without charge. Choosing these quieter hours allows you to stay active safely, avoid crowds, and enjoy the rest of your day feeling energized instead of overwhelmed.
Number 11. Discrete priority seating at shows. Cruise ship shows fill up quickly, and premium or reserved seating can cost $20 to $50 per person on some lines, especially for popular performances. What works in favor of passengers 55 plus is that theaters often keep roped-off or accessible seating areas that aren't sold to the general audience. These seats are held for guests who need easier access, fewer stairs, or a more comfortable viewing position. Cruise lines don't advertise this because they want full houses and smooth crowd flow, but ushers are trained to quietly assist when someone may benefit from better seating. Arriving 10 to 15 minutes early makes a big difference, as staff can place you before the rush begins. There's no need to ask loudly or explain medical details. Making eye contact, pausing near the seating area, or calmly accepting assistance when offered is often enough. The result is a better view, less climbing, and a more relaxed experience without paying for premium seating. Number 10. Gentle onboard wellness checks. Cruise ship medical visits can be expensive, with basic consultations often starting at $100 to $150, which is why most passengers avoid the medical center unless absolutely necessary. What works in favor of passengers 55 plus is that cruise lines quietly take a more proactive approach when small health concerns are mentioned early. Light issues such as dizziness, fatigue, balance concerns, or medication questions are often monitored informally by onboard medical or wellness staff without triggering a full paid visit. This behind-the-scenes attention exists because cruise lines prefer prevention over emergency situations, which are far more costly and disruptive. Simple follow-ups, quick check-ins, or wellness guidance may happen in public areas or through guest services rather than formal appointments. To benefit from this, it helps to share relevant health notes early, either through your travel agent, guest services, or the medical desk on embarkation day. This doesn't guarantee free medical treatment, but it often reduces unnecessary charges, speeds up response if needed, and adds an extra layer of care that helps you enjoy the cruise with greater confidence and peace of mind.
Number 9. Personalized celebration surprises. Celebration packages on cruises can easily cost $75 to $250, depending on whether they include cabin decorations, champagne, desserts, or special dining. But passengers 55 plus often receive similar touches at no charge when milestones are noted in advance. Cruise lines quietly recognize events such as major birthdays, 25th or 40th anniversaries, retirement cruises, or even a first cruise after a health recovery. Instead of selling a formal package, staff may arrange complimentary cabin decor, towel art, chocolates, a cake, or a bottle of sparkling wine as a gesture of appreciation. These surprises are not guaranteed and are not advertised because they are discretionary, but they happen frequently when the occasion is shared early. The best time to mention a celebration is during booking, on your cruise profile, or to guest services within the first day on board. This isn't about asking for gifts, it's about allowing the crew to acknowledge a meaningful moment. When they do, the result often feels more personal than anything you could have paid for. Number 8. Free or extended wheelchair loans. Wheelchair rentals on cruises normally cost around $20 to $40 per day, which can easily reach $150 to $300 over a full sailing. But cruise lines quietly make exceptions when mobility issues arise during the trip. If walking becomes uncomfortable due to a twisted knee, fatigue, swelling, or balance problems, onboard medical or guest services may arrange a wheelchair for extended use at no charge. Official policy often says wheelchairs are for short-term or emergency use only, but in practice, cruise lines prioritize safety and liability over strict rules. Providing a wheelchair is far less costly for them than dealing with a fall or injury. These loans are usually manual wheelchairs and can be used around the ship and, in some cases, at ports. The key is timing and honesty. As soon as walking becomes difficult, visit guest services or the medical desk and explain the issue clearly. You don't need to exaggerate or claim permanent disability. When comfort and safety are involved, cruise lines often solve the problem quietly without adding rental fees. Number 7. Afternoon tea and quiet lounges. Afternoon tea and quiet lounges offer one of the most peaceful experiences on a cruise, and they're usually included in your fare, even though similar experiences on land can cost $25 to $50 per person. While the pool deck is crowded and noisy, these calm spaces provide comfortable seating, attentive service, and a relaxed atmosphere with tea, pastries, and light snacks served on real china on many ships. Cruise lines don't promote these areas heavily because they're designed to manage crowd flow and give guests a break from busy public spaces. Libraries, card rooms, observation lounges, and dedicated tea venues are intentionally kept low-key and uncrowded. These spaces are ideal for reading, conversation, ocean views, or simply resting between activities. The schedule for afternoon tea and the location of quiet lounges are usually listed briefly in the daily planner rather than announced. Checking the planner early in the day helps you plan around them. Choosing these calm areas can significantly reduce fatigue and make sea days feel restorative rather than overwhelming. Number 6. Dining times that fit your life.
Dining time flexibility can quietly save money and reduce daily stress, especially when specialty dining reservations cost $25 to $60 per person and sell out fast. Passengers 55 plus often have more influence over dining schedules than the standard booking system shows, particularly when requests are tied to energy levels or medication timing. Early dining times are typically calmer, faster, and better staffed, which means fewer long waits and less pressure to upgrade just to avoid crowds. Cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Princess, and Carnival allow dining teams to adjust seating quietly when senior accommodations are requested, but these options don't always appear online. The key is wording and timing. Asking specifically for senior dining accommodations can trigger access to earlier seatings, quieter table locations, or consistent waiter assignments that improve the entire cruise experience. Making this request at booking or on the first day on board often prevents the need for paid dining alternatives later. When meals fit your natural rhythm, dining becomes a highlight instead of something to work around.
Number 5. Travel insurance discounts. Travel insurance for cruises can be expensive, especially for passengers over 55, with policies often costing $200 to $400 per person, depending on age and coverage. What isn't widely explained is that many cruise lines quietly offer senior-specific insurance discounts through partner providers. These policies often include lower deductibles, better medical and evacuation coverage, and pre-existing condition waivers when booked early, all at a reduced price. Discounts typically range from 15 to 25%, but they don't appear automatically during online booking. Cruise lines don't promote them because insurance commissions are higher on standard policies. The smart move is to ask directly during booking what senior or over 55 insurance options are available and compare them with independent providers. Sometimes the cruise line's senior rate is better. Other times, an outside insurer offers more value. The savings can be significant, and the coverage is often more suitable for cruising. Asking one simple question before you book can protect your health and your wallet at the same time.
Number 4. AARP benefits. An AARP membership costs very little each year, but it can unlock savings that quietly add up on a cruise. Cruise lines and travel partners sometimes offer special rates, onboard credit, or bonus perks to AARP members, even though these offers don't always appear during online booking. One of the most useful benefits is access to discounted cruise gift cards, which can often be purchased below face value and then applied directly to your cruise fare, onboard spending, or excursions. That indirect discount alone can save $100 to $300 on a single trip. AARP benefits also extend beyond cruising, including hotel discounts, rental car savings, and travel insurance offers, which lowers your overall trip cost. Cruise lines don't highlight these partnerships because not every passenger qualifies. The key is to mention your AARP membership when booking or working with a travel agent, and to check available gift card options before you pay your final balance. Small savings layered together can make a noticeable difference.
Number 3. Late disembarkation. Counterintuitive perk. Most passengers rush to leave the ship as early as possible, often lining up before sunrise and standing in crowded hallways with luggage. Late disembarkation flips that experience completely and is often available to passengers 55 plus when comfort or mobility is mentioned. Instead of chaos, late disembarkation allows you to enjoy a calm final breakfast, use elevators without long waits, and leave the ship after the crowds have cleared. Cruise lines don't promote this option because they want everyone off quickly to reset the ship, but they will quietly accommodate seniors who request it. This can also reduce costs, since early disembarkation sometimes pushes people into booking private transfers or early airport arrivals they don't actually need. The key is asking guest services a day or two before the end of the cruise and explaining that slower movement or standing in long lines is difficult. Choosing to leave later often results in a smoother, less stressful ending and lets you finish your cruise rested instead of rushed. Number 2. Future cruise discounts unpublished.
Future cruise offers for passengers 55 plus often include savings that never appear online, and these can easily reduce the cost of your next sailing by several $100s. Cruise lines quietly reward seniors who show interest in booking again because repeat travelers are more reliable and tend to cruise more often. These benefits can come in different forms, such as accelerated loyalty credits, bonus onboard credit applied to a future booking, reduced deposits, or early access to repositioning and longer cruises that are priced lower before the public sees them. Asking, "Do you have any discounts?" usually gets nowhere because staff are trained to respond to visible promotions only. What works is asking specifically about senior future cruise accommodations or loyalty-based offers tied to your current sailing. This signals that you understand there are unpublished options. The best time to ask is on board at the future cruise desk or shortly after you return home. A simple, informed question can lock in meaningful savings on your next cruise before prices rise. Number 1, crew goodwill, soft perks. Some of the most valuable advantages on a cruise don't come with a price tag at all, and they never appear in brochures or booking pages. Crew goodwill is a real, quiet advantage that often leads to extra comforts seniors benefit from throughout the cruise. When passengers are polite, patient, and appreciative, crew members notice, and that often translates into small but meaningful extras. This can include better table service, preferred seating, extra attention from cabin stewards, surprise desserts, stronger pours at the bar, or quicker help when something goes wrong. None of this is guaranteed, and that's why it isn't advertised, but it happens every day on every ship. Crew deal with stress, complaints, and entitlement constantly, so calm and respectful guests naturally stand out. For passengers 55 plus, this goodwill can quietly improve the entire experience without spending a dollar. A genuine thank you, learning a crew member's name, or a little patience often unlocks better service than any paid upgrade ever could. Cruising after 55 isn't about slowing down, it's about knowing how the system really works. These hidden advantages aren't advertised not because they're rare, but because cruise lines rely on seniors quietly paying full price without realizing what they qualify for. Once you understand what to ask for and how to ask, everything changes. Boarding becomes calmer, dining fits your routine, comfort improves, and costs drop without sacrificing the experience. The best part is that most of these advantages don't require special status, expensive cabins, or added fees, just awareness and confidence. If even one of these tips helped you save money or avoid stress, then it did its job. I'd love to hear from you. Which advantage surprised you the most, or which one have you already used on a cruise? Share it in the comments below. And if you want more honest, practical cruise guidance made specifically for travelers 55 and older, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.